Hey everybody! Well, it's been a while since I've done a LEGO video, so I thought we could check out this new set that just came out on February 1st of 2023. This is the A-Frame cabin. It's set number 21338 and it has 2,082 pieces. So this looks like it's a really cool set. It comes from their LEGO Ideas line. A designer sent this in for submission and it was selected by LEGO to be turned into an official set. And then the LEGO designers kind of tweaked the design just a little bit. So this particular one looks pretty close to the original submission. I think the cabin looks a little more modern in this version, but probably the biggest complaint that it got is that the trees, they changed the trees. The original submission pictures showed these to be more like a pine tree and they're much more full. And the designers decided to go with this more sparse looking kind of tree. I'll throw a picture of the original submission so you can see what I mean. So I'm guessing that the reason they decided to go with these kinds of trees is because probably for cost. It would probably cost a lot more. But as you can see here, we have a really nice interior. We'll get a closer look at this once I get it built, but there's like a bedroom up here and some living space. Comes with 4 minifigures, a canoe, a bunch of great animal pieces in here. There's a bunch of them that we'll check out as well. So it looks like it's going to be another fun set to build, so I guess I'll go ahead and get started on it. And if there's anything interesting to show you along the way, I'll cut in and show you those. Okay, so one of the coolest parts of this build is how you build the stonework on the porch. It's actually made up of a bunch of Thor's hammers. Now in the original design there was 3 rows of these, so they went just with 2. But you can see how this whole section is built. It's kind of a pretty complicated little thing. And then on the lower section here, they fit in here. You can see these rails right here. This fits down inside here like this. And then they click in place. Like this. And this. If I can get it. Oh, I guess that was it. Okay, so then this one here goes on this side. It goes the opposite way. Very neat how these fit in here. Alright, and there we go. That makes up the brickwork for the porch. Very, very clever use of parts. Let's start off with the minifigures. You get 4 in this set. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be a family or just a group of friends. I'm not really sure. But these 2 here, they have brand new prints for their torsos. So those are exclusive to this set right now. And here we can see the back. Now those 2 also have dual molded legs, as you can see on the back here. And they all have alternate faces as well, so I'll have to show you what those look like. I do love that backpack that this guy's got. It's pretty cool. Alright, so let me show you their alternate faces. And here's what those look like. I really like this lady's hairpiece right there. It's kind of a big, kind of tall hairdo right there. It's nice that they got alternate faces for them. I'm not sure why he's so scared. Maybe there's a bear in the woods. And here it is all finished, and oh my gosh, this is an absolutely fantastic set. I just love this thing. I would say this rivals the Treehouse set, which is my personal favorite set of all time. But I just love the outdoorsy look of it. The whole build of it was really fun. Nothing crazy as far as the build process, just those interesting hammers that I showed you earlier. But I'll show you all the close-up details on here. But the building itself looks absolutely fantastic. We got a couple of little sections here where they have some of the landscaping on there. And I'll show you how you can change those out a little bit. On the back here, there's some more detail that I'll show you close-ups of. But oh god, this thing is so cool. Really, really love this set. Now I just got to find room for this thing. Alright, let's get some close-ups. Okay, so let's start with the front. Right here at the porch, we can see that we have a little table here with a drink and a little lantern right there. Love the way the railing is done on here. On this side, somebody's cooking an egg on that little that little heater right there, that little cooker. The doorknob has got a little wood piece, little porch lights, and some wood detail. There's one of the first animal pieces that we get with this set. It's a moth. They've had the butterfly before, but they've never had this print of a moth before. So that was really cool. You get several of those. There's a little birdhouse up here on the side. There's an interesting looking chair here. Those whips, they made a mistake on my set. I got only 1 whip in bag 6 and you're supposed to have 2. But then in bag 1 I had 1 whip and there wasn't supposed to be any whip. So they just put the whip in the wrong bag, I guess. Never had a set where they've done that before. Here's another one of those moths with a different kind of print. That's what that brickwork looks like once you've got all that done. That looks really cool. Very clever use of those Thor's hammers. Got a few mushrooms right here. A little bucket. And then we have this squirrel. I love it. A squirrel. Last time I got a squirrel was from the Loop roller coaster set. So we got a little squirrel right there. Very cute. Over here we got the little wood pile. And you got this little shed kind of thing, or this little holder that you build. Pieces of wood in there. There's an axe, a stick. I'm not sure what the stick is for. And then over here we got another moth on the tree with a different print as well. You get a whole bunch of these. Up here is the tree, nice fall colors. We got a nice bluebird up here. Very cool. They do provide a lot of animal pieces, which I think is great. Here's the back of that. And you can actually pull that off if you don't want it on there, if you just want the house by itself. And I'll show you how you can combine both pieces of the landscaping. Here's the upper level, the windows. You can actually open those windows if you want to. I like the nice wood cladding, and also the way they did the cladding on the side. On the original concept version, this whole thing had this kind of unusual or uneven cladding, including the sides here, but they smoothed it down for this version. Probably because it would have taken even more pieces. I think they were trying to keep the cost down on here as much as they possibly could. I really love these windows on the side right there. Now here is the other landscape area. This one's very cool. We got a little bit of rock formations going on. More of the mushrooms or toadstools. A couple of oars for this canoe. There's another lantern right there. You can take this canoe off if you want. This is the first time I've gotten this piece. It's really nice. In here we got a little crate of life jackets, and I'm not sure what that thing is. Maybe it's a water bottle, I'm not really sure. And some more rocks in here. Now this is really cool. You got a little otter. See him back here? Now I think it would have been kind of cool to have a beaver, actually. I think a beaver would have been more fitting. But you get this cute little otter, and I think he's really neat looking. And then down here you got a little frog. So you can see how many, there's just a ton of animal parts, or pieces, or, you know, the animal characters. This water is really cleverly done. It looks like just a little babbling brook or something, but see how the water is actually coming out of the little tunnels in there? I thought that was really cool the way they did that. Now here's the back of the house. We can see the little chimney right here. Down here we have like a little, it's like an outdoor shower. They even have a bar of soap. And although that looks like toilet paper, I'm assuming it's supposed to be a towel. I don't know, maybe it's not. I don't know. Well, there is a shovel there too, so I'm not really sure. We have the little fuel tank over here. It's the Octan, the Lego version of the fuel. They have the Octan. They even have some meters right there. Some kind of a container right there. Here's the other side of the house. Yeah, this is really cool. Okay, I'll show you how you can open this thing up. Okay, so to get better access to the interior, these just pull right off. They're not click in. They just have these pins that go on there, so they pull off very easily. Now on this side we can do the same thing. It's kind of interesting how this one's kind of far back. I kind of wish this was further up, actually. I think that would have been kind of more, I don't know, more nice or more symmetrical maybe, because it's kind of weird to have it way back here. But this also just pops right off too. See how it's just got the same blue pins to hold that on? Now what's interesting is these roof pieces are just held on just by gravity. They don't even click in or anything. See how they just come right off? That's what the inside of it looks like right there. But they just rest on the side here and down here at the bottom. Now let's take a look at this lower level. We have this nice little living quarters area right here. Now it looks like these guys are kind of like geologists or something, because we have a few gemstones and geological samples there. There's a magnifying glass, a phonograph, really cool record player right there, and they even have a selection of records down there, you know, on the shelf. Up here we have a couple of lights, and there's even a guitar on the wall. See it back there? That was really neat. And there's a geode, one of those geode pieces right there. Those are really cool pieces. Those are a relatively recent new thing. Here's the staircase to get upstairs, which I'm glad they did put a staircase. They don't always do that. Back inside there is a little crate of just some glasses and some wine bottles. Maybe for recycling, maybe. Here's a nice little candle, a clock, and I'm not sure what that thing is. And there's a little plant up here as well. Then you come upstairs, and this is the bedroom. That bed is really nice looking. You can see how cool that looks. There's a big old camera with a huge zoom lens on it. There's a coffee cup, a compass, and I really like these lamps up here. Now I'll talk about that picture here in just a minute. There's another cup that's just kind of on the floor, and just some bric-a-brac over here on the side. I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent, but there's a nice little bookshelf as well. All right, let's take a look at the other side. Okay, so we'll take this part off now. Same thing, same construction on the other side as well. Now we can see the other side of these rooms. So on this side we have like a little well, it's cool, they got a typewriter in there. Somebody's having a little bit of tea, so maybe we have an aspiring writer. Some newspapers on the floor. This really nice lamp. That lamp was a clever build to make that. There's some more lighting up here. Not sure what that's supposed to be. On this side we have a little mini kitchen. You got a nice little sink going on there. A carton of some kind of milk or something. Frying pan up here. You can see there's a cleaver back there and a fire extinguisher. And there's even a hot wood stove back there. You can even see the wood pile in there. That is so cool. So they have pretty easily accessed, inside there. Up here on the other side of the bed, we have a nice little candle on the table. This is cool. It's an iridescent piece. I've never seen that before. I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent. Maybe it's another mineral sample. But that is a really neat piece. You get a spare of that too, which is really cool. So this picture is really neat. It's an Easter egg because the designer of this set actually designed that house. If you look up his work that he's done, he made a set that looks just like that, and it didn't get accepted into the Ideas program, but it's cool that the designers decided to do an homage to him and his set by making a little picture of that on there. I think that's really neat. You can see here we got a pair of binoculars on the bed for some bird watching. There is a map on there, and interestingly enough, on this side, I forgot about that. If you look right there, that is an acorn. It's like a printed tile with an acorn on it, so I'm guessing the squirrel somehow got in there and is stashing his acorns in the house. That's fantastic. There's a nice little trophy up there and a couple of books. This is really cool. That is a little reference to the treehouse. The treehouse set that I mentioned earlier, and here they made a little mini version of it in there. How cool is that? Up here in the rafters we got a little spider crawling around. That's really neat. Yeah, that is fantastic. Now this top section will come off. It's just on jumpers. So you can just pull this off if I can get a grip on it. Let me see if I can grip this thing. Let's see, there we go. So you can take this whole thing off. And that way you can get a better look down inside there. Now I don't know what that red thing is. Is it supposed to be a Lego brick that you're supposed to, that somebody steps on? I'm not really sure what that was for. But here you can get a better look at the hot wood stove in there, and also you can see the wood that's in there, and also the fire extinguisher, and that crate. You can get a better look at that as well. So yeah, I mean, this is really neat. I love how the whole thing was designed. I didn't really look too closely at the original concept of this, but there's that guitar. Oh, here's another Easter egg. So that right there is a reference to the blacksmith set, the medieval blacksmith. Oh my gosh, that is a fantastic set. That's another fantastic set. I mean, they've come up with some of these modulars or these buildings that are just incredible. I love building the interiors on these things because they are so fun. There's a little umbrella. I guess that's a water bottle down inside there, and the door does open. If you can grip this. Oops, I'm sorry, I was out of camera range, but you can open it. And if you notice, there's a welcome mat that says Lego. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, yeah, this thing is awesome. Now, I was mentioning that you could take these landscaping pieces and combine them. So you detach them from the house, but you can see how these two things go together right there. It just fits right in. And now you can make it into one big chunk of land there. So maybe all the birds and all the animals can be up here. These trees aren't so bad. Like I said, this got so much criticism because of these trees, but once you build them and put them together, you don't really think about the other ones. I will say that they were kind of a hassle to build though, because each of these clumps of leaves are the same, and You're trying to figure out which way they're supposed to go on here, because I think they go a certain way to make sure they don't push up against the house. But these two kind of angle towards each other, the top branches right there. And it's the last thing that you build in this. I kind of wish that you would have done this earlier so that it would, because it's kind of the least enjoyable part of the build, and that they kind of saved it for the last part. So would have been kind of cool to do this part first to just kind of get it out of the way. But it's nice that you have the option to combine it like that. And here's how the roof pieces go on. You can see it's kind of angled up here at the top. And these little notches are for these little black parts right here. So this actually just kind of fits in here like this. And it just kind of rests on there. See, there's nothing that really clicks in. It's all by gravity. Let me get this other side here. And same thing, it's got the notches at the top that go into those little pointed black sections on the top. And see how that just fits right in there, and it just rests down here at the bottom on those little these little things right here. See how they're kind of angled right there? So it just kind of rests on there. Just kind of set it up there and then just kind of lean it in. And there you go. I think it's pretty neat how that all goes together. Alright, let me get the whole thing put together now. So I got to say, this set is a really nice set. This is only the second set I've bought in the last 6 months because, as I mentioned, after Lego increased their prices back in August, a lot of the sets went up by $30 to $50, and a couple sets went up by $70. I mean, Lego was barely affordable to begin with, but when they jacked up their prices, I think that really turned a lot of people off. I mean, this set here is $180. $180 for this thing. Before the price increases, it probably would have been about $150, and that's really where it should be. That extra $30 is just kind of a big ouch that I think a lot of people don't want to pay for. When I went to the Lego store on the 1st, I didn't even get there when the store opens. Usually I get in line to make sure I get a set, but I knew this wasn't going to sell out because I think a lot of people are starting to get a little turned off by Lego. I'll be honest with you. I think now that the coronavirus has kind of settled down now, people aren't home as much as they used to be, and I think maybe even adults are starting to, kind of start to, lose interest in Lego a little bit. I think there's still an interest in it, but I could tell that it was very slow in that Lego store. I mean, it was so slow that the employees were actually playing chess on the Harry Potter Lego chess set, and they were actually teaching one of the other employees how to play chess. That's how slow it was in the store. There was only maybe one other person in there, and I got there a couple hours after the store opened. So, yeah, I think maybe Lego's popularity with adults is definitely starting to wane a little bit, or maybe a lot. I don't know. It just seems like it. But I know that I've certainly bought a lot less sets. This is only the second set that I've bought in the last 6 months. The last one I bought was the Lighthouse. And, I just can't keep plopping down this expensive amount of money for these things. And plus, they take up a lot of room. And, I think a lot of people are starting to realize that, they don't really have the shelf space for this kind of stuff. But I don't know. But this set here, I love it. And there's going to be some sets that I'm still going to buy just because I really like them. But I become super, super picky now. But this is a really cool set. I really like stuff like this. But anyway, if you want this set, head on over to Lego. Or if you want to wait until it goes on sale, it's bound to go down in price. Maybe Amazon will have it on sale eventually. That's usually the place that has it on sale. But it is a really great set. I love it. You do get, a lot, considering it's $180. A lot of animal pieces. You got 4 minifigures. The house itself is really cool looking. Really fun build. It's very nice looking on the shelf. But anyway, that's my review of this thing. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'd very much appreciate it. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next video, and have a good one.